Hey, this is Campfirehed phase, and for once I'm actually going to be doing Boards of Canada. Right here is actually Music Has the Rights to Children, which is pretty much my all-time favorite album. Campfirehed phase, why didn't I list that? Well, I don't actually own the vinyl record. That is way too much out of my price range. A few years back I did secure this from some Russian guy. I had to really fight for this. So this is a warp and scam kind of label combined. This is meant to be a promo copy, but nothing really denotes it as being a promo. So, first thing you're gonna notice, well, actually, you probably won't notice, but if I take this out, that would help for one. So there's brail at the top on a sticker. Now, um, the records themselves are in really nice sleeves. Nice turquoise kind of color, going with the theme here. You'll see warp, scam, you'll see label information. Hopefully, is it upside down? It's upside down. Now, what's so great about this album is being a vinyl record itself, it already captures a lot of what Boards of Canada is about. They want these warm, analog, synthetic, warbling sounds, and you get that with this. And I mean, you could play it back even as an MP3 and you'd still get back the warmth that they're trying to retain. And they're all about degrading the audio in a way that it's able to refine itself like wine. I've written that in a review in 2008. And so, music has the rights to children. And you know what? Many people don't actually own a vinyl record, so I thought I'd just show actually the inside. It's just a really, really good album. Wildlife analysis, great intro. Sounds like a nature documentary. An eagle in your mind. For some reason, that reminds me of Goosebumps. I always prefer Are You Afraid of the Dark, though. The Color of Fire. That song's a little bit creepy, but nothing near as dark as the material from Giugotti. Okay, so with Boards of Canada, though, a lot of people may not like it because it's not womp womp kind of dubstep stuff. It's considered IDM, intelligent dance music. I don't think that they're really even cool with that term being applied here. You're going to be hearing a lot of hip hop kind of beat shuffling, a lot of warm, bloated electronic sounds, something that sound like from the late 70s or early 80s with VHS tape kind of overloading itself or something. So for a lot of people, this brings up nostalgia. And so this was 1998. I'm looking at the back here if there's anything point of interest. This is a 2 LP set. You know, my favorite song off here is Turquoise Hexagon Suns. That's really cool. Roy G. Biv, though, when I'm discussing this Boards of Canada organic sound, that song really captures it. It has like this Indian tribal like sound that fades off between some of the songs. That's really nice. Pete Stands Alone is a really good song too. All these though, and one very important thought that's like a little kind of not a political speech at the end, but it talks about censorship, and that's really interesting. That's very sincere. The group, Boards of Canada is just a duo, and they're very sincere people. And I like the fact that they refrain from having themselves openly plastered for everything. They're reclusive because they just want it to be music, and that's very respectable. Now, the first major LP from them, because if you're not familiar, Boards Canada wiped out their catalog in the past. They have earlier albums. Some of them are not even confirmed to be true. There's, I believe, one that's called like Acid Memories. Point is, we'll probably never get to hear them, and we're lucky enough to get the old tunes kind of compilation. So this is Boards Canada Twoism. I used to call it Taoism. I guess that's a typo on my behalf, and I just read it that way. So this one is a reissue from 2002. Very simple, just a sticker thrown on a white sleeve. And the record itself may not be as prolific as their other material. Again, that's a sticker still on the label itself, and so that is still Warp, Scam, Music 70. But one thing I think about with Boards of Canada is themes. This one is childlike, it's friendly, the colors are just, they're hazy. It's almost like somebody took way too many Percocet and just had fun at home. I wouldn't know. Gio Gotti, the following album, so in 2002, Gio Gotti came out, and so right after that was released, people were thinking, oh, it's gonna be like Music Against the Rights for Children again. No, actually, it's the most critically acclaimed album from them, and it was very dark and unnerving. The YouTube videos Salad Fingers uses Beware the Friendly Stranger from that album. It has this grindy, flame-like, sandpapery sound to it, and it makes you feel very tense. Um, even some of the first few songs on their music is math, very percussive, and so it definitely brings you to a darker place. To me, that reminds me of like adolescence, and the rest of the songs feel kind of sad and empty because they don't have that percussive element that's kind of taken away, and it has this mourning kind of eerie sound. But it's not a bad album. It's an album where if you're willing to set yourself up from beginning to end, you're gonna have a great experience, whether it be dark to you or still childlike and naive. Um, and that's interesting to reflect on because not all childhood experiences are perfect, and sometimes we don't want to relive those kind of experiences that are a little bit darker. But it's interesting to delve into your own psyche and you can play around with that. It's very introspective music. The next album was Campfirehed Phase. I only have that as a CD. I saw a DJ use the vinyl record not too long ago for National Record Store Day in April. That album is more peaceful. That sounds like somebody's finally hit the plateau. Now they're just relaxed and they're living their life. And there are guitars on that one, so some people are kind of taken back by that. But there are a lot of classics on there too. A lot of that music is actually featured on Adult Swim. My personal favorite off that album is Oscar See Through Red Eye, and I believe it's called Tear from the Compound Eye or something. Point is, if you get yourself a Boards of Canada album and you're willing to open up your mind, you're gonna have a great experience. Oh man, freaking heartburn. I just had pizza. It's not really funny. Is there anything else I could really say about Boards of Canada? If you are one of those lucky people that happen to have one of their older releases before they wiped out their catalog, send it to me. I won't leak it. Um, if you listen to the music and you watch a lot of the videos, there are no true video uploads from them in that sense. A lot of the content is user made, but the users really have nailed this like little subculture that's developed. Like the sound, the feel, and the videos really express it. Even if it's a poorly recorded cell phone camera, the way it blips, it glitches, it just goes with Boards of Canada. Become a fan. Trust me, it'll be worth your while. Or you might just spend hours upon hours trying to read about when they're going to come back. And